Sign of the Times, episode 462, from this undisclosed nearby road. It's an undisclosed nearby road. Maybe it's the road to knowledge, or maybe it's the road to fruition, or maybe it's just an undisclosed road. For the people that love the snaps, my mask this week, my Newhart mask. Look at that. Newhart. You can jump on the YouTubes and watch old episodes of Newhart. Of course, the last one dismissed the whole series because it was a dream. But, you can watch up until then. There's Chicken Bob. Look at that, Chicken Bob. Looking great in his new white tape. Looks absolutely great in that white tape. JB Moonshine shirt. If you can get him to ever email you back with prices and how to pay, you can get a Moonshiner shirt. I'm not saying he will, but, you can get him to say, hey, I sell these shirts, but good luck getting him to tell you how. Look, I just got out of a little free library for QT Vokes. It's Robert Crane's Lullaby Town. Lullaby Town. I don't know if Beast Barnett's ever read it, but he might have. Yeah, it says it's, the greatest. Perhaps the best detective to come along since Travis McGee, it says. Who are we to doubt the San Diego Tribune? Lullaby Town. QT will probably love it. Book I got for Petrov. If I ever see Petrov again, I can hand it to him. Around 27% sure I'll see Petrov again. Current book I'm still reading, Big Mac, The Unauthorized Story of McDonald's by Max Boas and Steve Chang. Came out in 1974, this book did. It's a little out of date, but I'm still reading it. Fascinating history of McDonald's. You can read all about Ray Kroc and how he took the McDonald's from the McDonald brothers, and they got a pittance of what it was worth. And look at these pictures and postcards I got from Ken Hamblin. You know him from last episode. There is where the hotel sat, where Ken Patera and Masa Saito got in trouble with cops because they got into a big brawl. They tore down the motel, put in a CarMax. Here's the McDonald's that started the whole thing. You can see Ken Hamblin was going to throw a rock through that very window where Ken Patera allegedly did as well. Ken Patera, Ken Hamblin, Ken and Ken, both from the Pacific Northwest, lots of similarities. And they got me this postcard. Got cheese from Wisconsin. And this one from Michigan, home of the Motor City Machine Guns. I'll put the postcards in my postcard collection and get the pictures some protection. What a great trip that was for Ken and Tanya the other week. Great trip for them. They had all kinds of coffee, except for Ken, who doesn't drink coffee for unknown reasons, but he apparently had some great water. Picture of Seymour Schnott, proud member of the Gouge roster. Speaking of Gouge, best wishes to Count Grog, who is ill with the COVID and possibly pneumonia, so get better, Count Grog, so we can get back to having some Gouge shows. And pamphlet at the Sign of the Times. Every show needs a pamphlet. That one a Romanian festival one. I don't know if Count Grog has ever been to Romania, but he might have. Facebook, Instagram, the YouTube, which you probably are watching right about now. The Twitter, where you can follow me, but not literally, much like Ken Hamblin does, or much like Shimmer does. That's true. The promotion Shimmer follows me, as does Aaron Bolo. He sure does. And that's what it looks like inside of Stephen P. News' office. It sure does look like that. CAC program. CAC no friend to Stu Kemp. Not at all. Allegedly, neither is Ken Hamlin, because he may have hit Stuart Kemp at CAC a few years ago, caused massive problems. You can get pictures like that at CaseyCarlisle.com. That's CaseyCarlisle.com, home for all your gift giving needs. Look at that. You can get some of that for Elvis Presley's birthday coming up. You can get some of those for Groundhog Day quickly approaching. Some of those available. Some of those. You can get those. QT's favorite. Smaller ones if you're small like Donnie Idol. Some of those. There she is with the wall of belts. Wall of Belts would be a good name for a punk rock band. There she is, angry. There's other members of Team Bad Knees. Troy Miller, Miss Liz, Cameron Starr, Amazing Maria. Also in that mix, Damian Wayne. Also newly appointed Ryan Rude. He has horrible knees. He got inducted just recently. We're waiting on a photo of him. You can get a picture like that at CaseyCarlisle.com. And there she is with her Uncle Paul. Paul Freakshine, of course. There's Paul with Zach. Paul with the rest of his Freakshine. I got a picture of Kevin Sullivan. And there's Paul and John Lennon. They were buddy pals, apparently. They probably sang karaoke, doing duet songs like Ebony and Ivory, or some of the soundtrack of Grease, maybe. I don't know what they did. This week, a busy week. Sunday on Turnbuckle Turmoil, we have JB Moonshine's dream guest, Mark Canterbury, also known as Shanghai Pierce, also known as Henry O. Godwin. He will be on the show. JB looking forward to this. He might do word association with Henry Godwin. We'll see. QT Vokes will probably want to ask what Lance Dean suggested, and that is, how did it go in Memphis wrestling when you went down to Memphis and you went to the Channel 5 studio? Hopefully that's as far as it goes down the Lance Dean question rabbit hole. We don't want to get Henry Godwin to hang up on us. We don't. We really don't. But it's QT. He might ask him 18 questions about the collar of the ring apron. And then we'll just hear his click and JB Moonshine's loud cries of where did he go wrong in life. We'll see what happens. Monday's pretty much free. Tuesday looking pretty open. Thursday, maybe I'll go get a hamburger somewhere or something. That sounds nice. On Friday next week, the return to the show of Tyra Rusame. We've had her on before. She was a great guest. She's coming back. She's out of the Colorado area, but she wrestles all over the world. She's been all over the globe wrestling. QT will probably ask her questions about, like, her favorite brand of wrestling boots, or he might ask questions about who her toughest opponent was, but in reality he'll probably ask 3 questions about the 1967 Denver Broncos, and then he'll ask 8 questions about the Kool-Aid Man or something. I don't know. We'll see what he comes up with. But to review from this undisclosed road here, that very undisclosed road, Sunday, Henry O. Godwin, or you might know him as Mean Mark Canterbury, or you might know him as Shanghai Pierce. He was all of those. Recently was on Raw for the Undertaker's farewell. Someone may have actually interrupted that in order to ask if he wanted to be on a moderately tolerated talk show. That's unconfirmed. But Monday, it's pretty open. Tuesday's free. Wednesday's pretty open. Thursday, I think I'll go grab a hamburger somewhere. And Friday, Tyra Rusame will be back on the show. QT might confirm to her that Beast Barnett is kinda upset that there was no Winter Classic in the NHL this year. Kind of upset is how Beast categorized not having the NHL's Winter Classic. QT will probably ask several questions about that, but hopefully he'll ask, like, her favorite brand of elbow pads, something related, but we'll see. But pretty much episode 462